products will be shipped from Central Texas?
I have recently shipped to North Dakota, and the gentleman said that it was minus 20 at the time. And to my surprise and shock, he said the bottle stretched a little bit, but it didn't actually break, and the water's fine. If the water freezes, there's no damage done to it. Your only concern is might there be damage to the bottle from the expansion of the water?
It won't hurt the water itself, though.
No, not at all.
Is the boiling point of the water, does that change any from the oxygen content?
No, sir.
Interesting. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Yeah, make coffee, tea, whatever you want out of it, and enjoy it.
I have a question.
Okay.
I've noticed that you're not supposed to put the two different kinds together, the Manna water and the Royal. What is? I know that one is higher, but why wouldn't you want them all high?
Well, some people do. The lady from Florida that was on earlier was talking about her situation, the stage 4 situation that she overcame. She got on the water the 1st of September. As she was overcoming her situation, she did get to the point of mixing some of the regular and the Royal together. It does not hurt it at all. It just it gives you another blend. So there's no, you're not going to do any damage that I can imagine by doing that.
May I ask a question?
Go ahead, ma'am.
Hello, my name's Jeanette. I'm from Vancouver Island. Our daughter has a brain tumor. She's had 4 operations, and she's been taking MMS, which gives oxygen into your system, which I'm sure you're familiar with. But they say if you do that, you should not take colloidal silver. And she wondered if she took liquid Manna, could she also take colloidal silver?
David, or
I have a number of our clients who are using both, and I've not heard any contraindications. I can't think of any reason in the world why you could not use the two together.
Okay. She didn't know if the oxygen was detoxing the silver, like getting the metals out of her system, so it was pointless to take the silver.
The liquid Manna will detox the body for sure. Now you also realize that the brain is what I've read. It's over 70% water, so it definitely needs that in my estimation. And I've not had anybody that indicated any adverse problems whenever they had some of those major problems that we do hear about often.
Okay, thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
Fred, I very recently, I think you've gone over this quite extensively, but I want to hit on it one more time here. I very recently had someone that has colon cancer, and he was wanting to know if there's any way that you can take too much of the Royal.
My brother-in-law is totally on the Royal, and he had that kind of situation plus bone cancer, various and sundry things, and he called just yesterday and is totally, he's gaining weight, everything is looking good, everything is in remission. He is totally on the Royal, so you can work yourself to that, and it does take care of a multitude of things.
Well, in addition, his testimony, he wasn't able to be with us this evening, But something that the listeners, I think, would be very interested to hear is that his testimony. He was he's actually been having to wear a diaper for nearly 6 months because he cannot control the bowel movements, and I guess he was on the water for probably 2 weeks, and he came in and told his son that he was so excited. His son, when his son was telling me this, you could tell the tears were coming from his eyes. His daddy was telling him for the first time he actually had a hard stool and there wasn't any blood in it, and that was so exciting for that family that that for something like that to happen over a very short period of time, when they were looking at him having a complete colonoscopy and radiation and so forth. So I thought that was a wonderful testimony.
It really is, and also remember, folks, this water has tissue healing qualities to it, whether it's on the outside or the inside.
Tell us a little bit more about the healing of the scars there, Fred.
Well, my scars have totally gone away. I have a lady in the one in Oklahoma that I referred to. She had a pacemaker and installed prior to being on. Getting introduced to the water. I don't know if she's on the call. I'd love for her to come in and testify to some of this if she is, but she had a scar that she didn't like, that was left there by the insertion of the pacemaker, and over a period of time that scar went away, as I understand it. So we're seeing things like that, and there've been many reports of that happening, and we've also had recently I witnessed a man with a third-degree burn from his ankle to his knee, and within a week, he'd been under doctor's care for 2 weeks, and it was still just raw and looked bad, and within a week after being on the liquid Manna therapy that they decided there in the home to use, that thing had totally healed up.
Fred, I have a very good friend of mine that is always giving me this quote. He says, the wish is the father of the data. And so I guess I wish to find me some data. And yesterday I went to working on a vehicle, and I split my finger open, up one side, across the knuckle, and down the other side, and had to have about 12 stitches put into it. And I've been working with this Royal Manna ever since, and I'm going to tell you, I can't hardly believe the fact of the lack of soreness.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I mean, today I can wiggle my finger just about as well as I could before I smashed it with that 2-pound sledgehammer.
You're preaching to the choir. We hear stuff like this all the time, and it just blesses me to no end.
How long will it be before the recording is ready?
Ma'am, I think that the recording will be ready pretty much immediately after the call is over.
Good. Thank you.
Has there been any testimonies of people with dementia or Alzheimer's that have benefited from the use of the water?
I've done some work in that area. I'm not satisfied with that the work has been accomplished yet to the extent that I would love to see it, but we have seen some improvements in those areas. Here again, I have to just rely on the fact that oxygen is a healing fluid for all situations, and of course the brain, it being over 70% oxygen. Well, we've found that we've seen some real nice results. There's more work that that I would like to do in that area, maybe, and but we are really encouraged in that area.
Thank you. Fred, when you're working with burn situations, are you applying the water topically also?
You know, what the burn situation that these people that I've known for quite some time and had firsthand information on it, when this gentleman came to their house and they started working on this, what they did is take a spray bottle like the women would mist the clothes with that they're ironing, and they would spray that area, and then what they did on his leg, they wrapped it with gauze and then wet the gauze down and let it dry out, and then they would wet it again, and they changed the gauze twice during the day, and it seemed like it kept that water just really kept working on that thing. So I've seen people with skin cancer that they would put a Band-Aid over it and then take an eyedropper or something and just keep the Band-Aid moist under it, and keeping that water next to it for an extended period of time seemed like it brought healing very quickly to that.
Can you get a detox by soaking your feet with the royal in the water?
Yes, you can. If you have a foot bath, people have enjoyed that therapy on several occasions that I've been told about. Yes, it does work there. Just if you have a foot bath, then you can just put that bottle down in there with it, and it'll do the same as if it was in the bathtub with you.
Thank you.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Have you ever had any reports of foot ulcers being helped stop or cured?
I didn't get all of that. I'm sorry.
Have you heard of anybody being helped with foot ulcers?
You cut out being helped with something. David, help me there.
You said that foot ulcers.
Fred, I think you said foot ulcers.
Right.
Foot ulcers.
Okay. Well, one thing that you want to know, since the lady mentioned the foot bath thing, I might mention this, that whenever you do that therapy with your foot bath, notice the water after you do this, it looks like it's snowing inside. It takes care of the dead skin and all, and so I would have to believe that it would also help that the foot ulcers, I believe is what the gentleman was saying there. I've every reason to believe that it would be a tremendous benefit in that area also.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I've recently worked, Fred, with someone who has a toe fungus, which is often an outbreak of candida, and that's how it appears for men. And I suggested to wet a cotton pad with the royal and kind of bandage that to his toe while he sleeps. Do you imagine that would be helpful?
I surely do. Yes, I do. That's a good plan. I wouldn't hesitate to do it.
Well, Fred, I think we're about to run dry on questions here.
Okay,
anybody else have?
I got one question.
Okay.
Have there been any contraindications from this?
I have one question. It's about everybody's talking about the royal. What is the royal?
Okay, the royal is we call that our hammer. It's the highest charge one of the two. It's the one that we designed for with burn victims in mind and things like this. And then our regular then is what we suggest for the regular drinking water. Those two.
And the royal is also being used for people that have certain health issues that they are in need of bringing the oxygen level up to a very high degree without taking the time that it takes for just drinking the liquid manna to bring it up. The roll is used to boost the system initially, and the liquid manna is used for maintaining it.
Yes, that's a good explanation.
I
So the royal is, more higher concentrate.
An important question in there that I heard just a moment ago is, can you get to the point where you have oxygen toxicity? Is this oxygen of the nature where someone might actually get too much oxygen?
I have taken it to the full limit over the last few years, and I guess it depends on who you would ask whether it bothered me or not. But I have really enjoyed the extra oxygen. It's helped my memory, and it's 78 years of age. Well, and you stand a chance of degradation, if you will. But I tell people we've discovered the fountain of youth here, so watch out.
Had the opportunity of working side by side with Fred a few hours, and he is an inspiration. He's got way too much energy for 78.
Thank you.
I have one
I
question.
can make a statement.
I have one question about this. Will it make a hair grow?
Some people have said yes, but I can testify that it has not made mine grow yet. I need some right on the top of my head, and I wish I could tell you that it had, but it has not.
Interesting. I have a friend
I hear there was a lady that had a question. There was a lady that had a question.
I have
Go ahead, ma'am.
a statement. This is Yamna again. I think someone mentioned taking the Royal before chemo. When I first started taking the technology, I was taking chemo, and chemo, the side effects were it rots out your nails, your toenails, your fingernails. It darkens your skin, the palms of your hands, the soles of your feet, your face. Your hands become like shoe leather. And as I began to drink the water, it reversed the side effects of the chemo. So when I take chemo, I continue to do I'm on all Royal at this point. But before I go to chemo, the day before, the day of, and the day after, I drink a whole bottle of the Royal. And I don't have any of the side effects of the chemo. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's.
I got one question. I have a question, Fred.
Okay.
At Flagler Beach, Florida, you have the regular and the Royal. What is the level of your oxygen? Can you tell us what the level is in the regular and what it would be in the Royal?
Well, I spoke to that earlier on.
I'm sorry.
You're in the few hundred millions in the regular, and I don't discuss how much is in the Royal because, like I say, nobody would believe it anyway.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, thanks.
I have one last question, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I know we got to go through whoever sent us on the site, but do you have a suggested retail or a range there on the regular and the Royal? Just so everybody here knows.
Bobby, I'll answer that if you're okay with that.
Bobby, you guys talk to him about that.
We offer a package of 2 of the bottles of Royal and 2 of the regular Royal for $120. For most people, that's going to last them 2 or 3 months, at least. I think when you compare that to hyperbaric chamber, it's a little bit less.
Well, I appreciate that, Bobby, but is this available by the case? That would be another question.
Yes, it is.
It's available by the pallet. If you want a truckload, you can check that out too.
Amen, sir.
Talk to me before you want a truckload.
You know, I might add that the reason that we send the starter kit the way we do is so that a person has the ability to go ahead and drink one of the royals and then have a roll to put in their foot bath or their bathtub, and then 2 bottles of the liquid Manna for the purposes of mixing with regular drinking water. Now, I'll tell you what, folks, one of the things that I've been doing that hasn't even been mentioned here to speak of is that when I boil potatoes or cooking and so forth, I use the water for all of that. And it's very interesting, the taste that I get from the foods compared to using straight tap water. And it's... and I feel better anyway.
Amen. Okay, guys, it's been a joy, and folks, I thank you very much for coming on. I hope you leave with some good answers, good feeling, and I wish you well. And you're in for a real treat. The water will not let you down.
Fred, I want to thank you. And I also want to thank David. And Tim, you're still out there. Thank you very much. And I enjoyed trying to host this tonight. Sometimes I didn't do so well, but I tried. At any rate, gentlemen, we thank you all very much. And for anyone that's left on the call, we will be having additional calls in the future. Just stay tuned with the people that invited you to this call, and we'll get back with you for appointed times.
We want to thank you, too.
Thanks so much. We thank you. We bless you. Thank you. Blessing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bobby. And brush your teeth with it.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. Fred signing off. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.